Happy Monday! Happy first Monday of 2022. Yay! You made it. We made it. I'm not sure why this keeps blinking. Okay. Every time I go live, it's a new year and old story. Every time I go live, I wonder what Facebook is doing. And I'm also a little crooked. Well, anyway. All right. So, happy 2022. How are you doing? How does it feel? How are you feeling about the new year? Are you excited? Do you feel kind of meh? Are you nervous? Are you hopeful? How are you feeling? Let me see. How do I tag people to join? See if I can figure that out. I should know, but I don't, and I'm okay with it. Let's see. Not sure. All right. Well, anyway, I am excited about 2022. I'm excited. I have some things I'm going to start talking about tomorrow planned for you all. But for today, I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on sharing 5 tips for how you can have a successful 2022. I do wish you all success. I know, you wish for yourself to be successful, but sometimes success can be stressful. So this is actually a free tip. So this actually will be 6 tips. I'm just going to throw in a bonus tip. The best way to not get stressed over whether or not you're being successful is to define success for yourself. So actually, what you're going to want to do is figure out what success means to you. For me personally, success means just being calm and planning my life out and being proactive as much as possible, because life does always throw us unexpected curveballs, right? But planning things out in advance and everything so that I can stay calm when new things arise. But to me, success is that. So determining for yourself what your definition of success looks like, because of course it's going to be different from someone else's. And if you don't have your own definition of success, if you cannot define success for yourself, then you're going to start looking to other people as your examples for what success looks like. And then you're just going to be all stressed out. But, a lot of what I want to help everyone is this year is, healing and redefining identity, because a lot of times our identities are broken, particularly around success, because we look and we judge our success based on maybe what our parents or our grandparents, other family members told us our lives had to look like for when we grew up and became adults. So we're basing our success on other people's expectations of us, or we're looking at our friends who we graduated high school or is where we are. If we're in business, we may be looking at other business women or other businessmen, comparing like their amount of sales, their number of followers with what we have. And that is not who we are. We are all on a different path. We are all on a different purpose. And so therefore, we actually all have different measures of success. So for us to have a healthy identity and to really be able to redefine our identity and heal it, that's actually one of the key things. So knowing that and keeping that in mind, even though we all have different definitions of success, there are some things, I'm going to give 5 tips that you can do to ensure that you have a successful 2022, no matter what your definition is. So number 1, stretch. Before you get out of bed in the morning, stretch. So it does not have to be anything major. It can just be a gentle stretch. I mean, remember, you're just waking up, right? Your alarm clock's gone off, or maybe you just naturally woke up, however it is that you wake up in the morning. But kind of just enjoying the fact that you're still in your body, you woke up alive. Not everyone gets to do that every day. And just embrace, just feel like the enjoyment of being in your body as a woman or as in a man. And just like take a moment. It doesn't have to be very long, but as you're just stretching, think about like what it feels like, I said, as to what it's like to be a woman or a man. How does it feel to be in your body? And just enjoy it and feel, grateful and happy and content about, being alive, and just kind of reconnect to yourself after, being in a dream or whatever. So number 2, I'm going to share this. As I'm getting ready to give you this tip, I left my water jar in the kitchen right before I sat down to make this. I was in the kitchen, and I forgot my water there. But my second tip is remember to drink water, and plenty of it daily, as much as you can. I know sometimes with our schedules and we're running around, it's not always easy to drink as much as we want, but given that there's so many germs flying around out in the world, I was thinking about this when I was a little girl and I was growing up. If I got sick, my mother would shove water at me. And I'd be like, I'm sick. I don't feel like drinking water. But she'd be like, you have to flush out your system. So drinking plenty of water, that is something you can use to just kind of help flush your system out, help keep things, moving along, detoxifying, keeping yourself just healthy. If you want an extra detox or, health tip, I always find it kind of nauseating, but it's water with some lemon in it. So you could start your day out with even just a little warm water and lemon. Cold water and lemon for me is a little bit, or not cold, but cool. Water is usually a little bit better for me to manage, but I think that from everything that I've read, warm water and lemon is also really great for, as my mother would say, flushing the system out. All right, so number 3. Now, I don't know where you all are with this, but, a lot of times people will make resolutions at the beginning of the year. I would say a resolution is kind of like hard to do. It doesn't give you a lot of freedom. Actually, another businesswoman who I have worked with, Linda Williams, actually I just read a blog post by her, and she had written about how resolutions are limiting and constricting. And as an artist, I do find that when we have a resolution, or just in general as a person, a resolution kind of almost means that like we haven't really accepted ourselves for where we are at. It's not necessarily coming at us from, like, we're not really coming at ourselves from a loving place or an acceptance place. It's almost like, well, I'm not perfect enough. It almost, to me, feels like, trying to achieve perfection. And we are human. We are never going to be perfect. Obviously, we're going to go to new levels. We're going to improve as we get older and wiser, hopefully, day by day even. But we want to avoid that stress of having to be perfect or perform, versus like focusing on a lifestyle. So I know a lot of people do vision boards, but that might not be for everyone. It could be even like a journaling activity. But just thinking about, in general, the lifestyle that you want, and then building in to your daily routine. And it's a new year, so it would be a great time to maybe start new routines that you could use to build the lifestyle that you are envisioning. We do need to have a vision for our lives in order to go forward. But so say, for example, you have like a goal and your lifestyle is you see yourself as an author. So instead of making a resolution of I'm going to write a book, that can be kind of daunting. If you create a lifestyle of writing for yourself every day, you sit down and in a journal, you write for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or on your computer, you tap out on, your keyboard, 5 or 10 minutes worth of thoughts, right? You are building a lifestyle of becoming that author that you want versus like that New Year's resolution of, I have to write this book, which could be just overwhelming. So you want to give yourself that room for that freedom to create, that room for some days it may not happen. But one way you can do that, build that endurance and that discipline that is going to be required for your lifestyle to develop and expand, you can, I'll go back to writing the book because I recently wrote a book, right? I'm going to be working with an editor. I know I've been saying this for like a year and a half now, but I promise there is a book coming. But writing was not my favorite thing. And one way that I made it more of a lifestyle was I would open my computer. So I would get up in the morning, I would leave my bedroom, I'd go to the kitchen to get some water. And on my way, I would pause in my living room and I'd flip open my laptop. So I'd already kind of like set a visual reminder or a commitment that, after, I got ready for the day, after I took my shower and everything, I would sit down and write something for at least 5 to 10 minutes, if not longer. But that little visual cue kind of helped me to create that lifestyle and focus on that lifestyle that I was looking to accomplish something. Versus like just saying, I have to do this and stressing myself out. So I hope that helps. Lifestyle additions versus like resolutions. So you're kind of growing and evolving as a human versus trying to become perfect. And so that's tip 3. Tip 4, take life one day at a time. Honestly, the world is changing so rapidly. I don't know what tomorrow will bring. And unless someone's a fortune teller, no one does, right? So just taking it one day at a time. If we are living in the past and we're like stuck in past regrets, or even we're stuck in like our past successes, then we're not giving ourselves room to move forward because we're just always like either giving ourselves a pat on the back for something that we were successful with or beating ourselves over the head with our mistakes. And that's not going to really inspire us to go forward. And if we're thinking always, obviously we have to have a vision, right, for where we want our lives to go. But if we're always like trying to live in the future and like, I'm going to be doing this and this and this and this, well, when life throws us a curve, it could really derail us. It could really throw us. And also, we're not really fully present in the moment with what we're doing. So we're not really enjoying our life. We're always like ready to enjoy our life 10 days from now or 10 years from now or 10 months from now, whenever that future thing is that we're like trying to achieve, versus just staying in the present moment and working one day at a time towards, our lifestyle that we're looking to have or our healing that we're looking to have. Especially when it comes with healing after trauma or heartbreak, it's really, really important that we're just focusing on, going through it one day at a time and not trying to pressure ourselves into like healing instantly overnight or feeling like, oh, I can't enjoy my life until I forgive this person or until this person apologizes to me or whatever it is. And we're like giving our present moment control over the future, which may or may not happen, if that makes sense. So taking one day at a time in our lives will actually help us to be successful for the whole year. And tip number 5 is we do have to be honest with ourselves. We have to have honest conversations with ourselves. So there are certain things that maybe we've had in our past that we're ashamed of. There are certain things that maybe we are in denial of, but we do actually want to, I'm looking at my notes to make sure I'm not forgetting something. But we do want to make sure that we are taking responsibility for ourselves. So, for example, if someone hurt us And it is definitely wrong for someone to hurt you, right? There's never an excuse for someone to hurt us, right? But also looking and having an honest conversation with, well, what was my role in it? Without, beating ourselves up, without judging ourselves, right? But examining, what was my role? Like, what did I do? How was I a participant in this situation that didn't go well, that didn't go right? Um, Even just like when we review our year from last year, we want to remember all the things that we're grateful for, all the things that we did well, our previous successes, but we also want to look at, what didn't I do well? Where 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 should there be something, or where could I shouldn't say should, but where is it possible for me to learn from what happened last year in order to make this year better. So we really have to sometimes look at ourselves in the mirror, look ourselves in the eyes, and admit when we're wrong. Apologize to ourselves, apologize to someone else when we've hurt them, even when we don't want to. you know, um, if we have hurt someone else, we have to be honest about it. It's just so much easier to be able to continue to move forward. And then so if we're not honest with ourselves, for example, and we try to cover things up, things that we're ashamed that we did, or things that we feel aren't that important, but maybe they really are. When we do meet success, we may actually feel like, oh, I don't fully deserve the success, right? So in order for us to feel good and feel confident and feel worthy of the successes that we're going to be experiencing, we do also have to face the things that we're ashamed of, that are hard for us to talk about, and have those honest conversations. Like, why am I sad today? Why am I angry? Why am I getting annoyed with this person or this situation? Like, what is it about me, or what is it about my past? So that, we can deal with it and then move forward. Not pretending that we can't change anything in the past, but we can have honest conversations with ourselves in the present, so that our present and our futures will be smoother. We'll enjoy the successes. We'll just in general enjoy our lifestyles that we are building better. So I think those are the tips. I got everything on my notes. Yes. All right. So those are my 5 tips for you to have a successful 2022. Of course, I do wish you all a successful and happy and healthy 2022, full of love and peace. And I'm excited. This was the first, Monday of 2022. And I hope it had a good start. You've had a good start to the first week of the year so far. And as always, if you have any questions, you can feel free, send me a DM. You can also put in the comments below. I would love to hear what your definitions of success look like for you. Feel free to share them in the comments below. Let us know. Or anything else that's on your mind, all right? So have a wonderful evening, and I'll touch base with you all soon, all right? Peace.